Hi there and welcome. This is an episode of BB True Crime. I'm Beth, that's Becky.
I'm Becky and that's Beth.
You are in fact Becky,
I do,
well
I have
done.
a scab on my hand, I don't know where it came from.
I'm so sorry for her. This is episode 5. We're getting there, guys, we're getting there.
Is this episode 5? I thought it was episode 6. How many episodes has there been?
Shit. What? It's episode 5, guys.
Is it?
I fucking knew it.
It's fine, it's okay.
It'll make me so damn paranoid then. Oh, I thought I was cracking up.
I got ADHD, don't ask me these questions.
Girl, you made me flip out.
You looked at me like you didn't know. I was like, did she know?
Yeah, I thought I
What's
knew.
What's the answer?
I thought I was right, and then you said 5, and I was like, what? Anyway,
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. We are on episode 5 for
5.
sure.
Cinco, definitely.
According to my Google Drive, anyway. Episode 5 of BB True Crime, and basically for those of you who haven't listened to any previous ones, which is fine, don't worry about it.
Therefore, go check out the other ones.
Yeah,
though,
go check them out.
I'm a complete novice at this.
It's okay. We are
baffles me. 2
women in our early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
officially in my mid-20s now.
Oh, let's not talk about that. Nah.
And if that isn't a depression instigating statement, I don't know what is.
We're gonna deny age is a thing. No, we don't do that.
I might be in my mid-20s, but I feel like I'm in my early 20s, so it's fine.
Are you kidding? We both feel like we're older than that.
I feel like I'm in my 80s, and I act like I'm in my 15 years old, so it's fine.
Yeah. So basically, Beth, enjoy true crime, usually inspired from what my mother put into my brain.
Killers. She was raised on serial killers.
And horror, and
I was raised on Disney, the average child.
No, we don't do that here.
And
she's also studying criminology, so
hence the lessons I'm receiving here on crime.
I basically tell her, Becky, about true crime cases or unsolved cases. Don't necessarily have to be about murder.
There is a theme, though.
Yeah, I guess it is a favourite topic. I really shouldn't call it that. Anyway, I have done now.
A interest of passion.
Sure. Yes, passionate about murder.
Yeah.
And you know,
I often cry because I realise that murder is actually illegal and I can't commit it. It's frustrating.
I don't know if you should say that on microphone, Becky. So
that's why I'm crying though, because I'm not committing it, so everybody can relax.
For all of the audience members out there, I'm just gonna ask you from myself to please ignore that. She definitely did not mean that.
What? You said be myself, bro.
Maybe off camera, though. It's fine. It's fine. Okay.
Moving on.
Right. So, today's case, let's just go on to there. Episode 5, we're doing the case of Luca Magnotta. And let's say one person died in this, a bit like the last episode. Last episode, if you didn't see it, was Junko.
Oh, God.
And had the 44 days of torture.
Let's not linger on that one. It's fresh in my memories.
It was very interesting. But graphic, but also horrifically
disturbing.
Sad. Very sad case.
Very sad.
But go check that out. So
especially
today,
if you want to critique the Japanese criminal system.
For sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. And any self-defense tips, you want those, skip right to the end of the episode.
Yeah, but I'm in it like 35, we get onto that. Yeah,
we kind of got on for a while. It was a bit off topic, but, you know, good information.
Hey, segues happen.
Yeah. So, Luca Magnotta. I'd like to comment, Luca is the name of the perpetrator in this case.
Wait, what?
Yes. So,
we don't stand cases being named after the perp.
Exactly, that's what I was about to say.
Okay, we don't stand this.
The perpetrator is more well known than the victims, but actually you'll see that in a lot of cases, especially with famous serial killers.
Oh, I could list you famous serial killers, but I couldn't tell you one name of one victim.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucked up, but you know, that's usually the
without going for the ironic name of Jane Doe.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a valid one.
I don't think that's a valid response either.
So, this crime is actually what was covered on the Netflix show, Don't Fuck with Cats.
Oh, not the cat case.
Yeah, the cat case.
Oh.
That I tried to get her to watch it, and she wouldn't watch it. So you know what? We're gonna end up talking about it instead.
The thing is, alright. Call me a psychopath. I can deal just about with people being killed. Fine, it happens. Whatever. Animals,
yeah.
Cats,
I know.
Doggos. God help anybody hurt a doggo in my presence because they're dead.
It is just cats with him for some reason. Kittens, to be precise.
Of course, it's kittens.
And you know, at least in us talking about it like this, in the Netflix adaptation, just FYI, trigger warnings throughout the whole episode. In the Netflix adaptation, they do show,
and spoiler warnings as well.
For sure, yeah. They do show a lot of the. I can't even say a lot of this because, like, it's stuff I'm going to be reading in a moment anyway. But a lot of the shit that is involved with him is put in the show, and you actually see it with your own eyes, and it's horrific. So at least us doing it like this.
You see dead cats?
Yeah, and him, like, torture them. So at least us doing it like this and just talking about it.
You wonder why I said no?
No. Well, yeah, I guess. It's very well done, though. I definitely recommend it. It will make you cry, though.
Look, I'm too emotionally repressed to be having conversations like that.
Yeah, well, at least us talking about it means that you're not having to see that.
Oh, amen to that.
And at least, you know, we're just talking. So, his name, Luca Rocco Magnotta. He was actually born Eric Clinton Kirk Newman.
No wonder he changed his name.
But changed his name later on in life, in his 20s, I believe. He was born on July 24th, 1982. In Scarborough, Ontario, so in Canada.
Canadians always seem so nice, though.
Yeah, this guy was not. The murder also happened in Canada.
Okay.
According to him, but keep in mind that this guy is a pathological liar, a massive narcissist. You think you've met some narcissists in your time? No. This guy is mastery level.
Wow.
He's a narcissist.
This woman is speechless, and she's a literature student. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Good lord. This guy was obsessed with himself, and I am not being under the radar when I say that. I am being spot on.
Okay, got it.
He had several cosmetic surgeries done to make himself look more attractive. He was just something else, right? So according to him, and again, don't know how much of this can be believed, because of his character, but
all flaws therein.
We're just gonna remain open for now.
Got it.
He said that his mother was obsessed with cleanliness growing up, and would routinely lock her children out of the house. I think he has siblings. They're not really mentioned. They don't like having anything to do with him. Understandable.
I wouldn't have anything to do with him either.
Yeah, so she would apparently routinely lock her children out of the house, and she once put her children's pet rabbits out in the cold to freeze to death. Nice woman. Nice. His father was diagnosed with schizophrenia in 1994.
That's a whopper.
After in jail, Luca was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and narcissism, obviously.
Narcissism, obviously. Yeah. Borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
Explain some things.
So after his father got the diagnosis, he divorced his mother, leading Magnotta to move in with his grandmother, Phyllis. I'd like to say Phyllis. His mother is also featured in the documentary, and even though there is so much proof of what he did, not just to animals, but to the victim, she will not believe it. His family, except the siblings, will not believe that he did these things. They think he was framed or either forced into it. Yeah. So, take with that what you will.
I find it entertaining.
Yeah, it's just a bit sad watching it, because it's like, oh my god, you for real?
You actually believe that?
And honestly, like, how much does it take to convince you otherwise? If we have video evidence of him there. Like, come on. Good lord. In 2003, he began to appear in gay pornographic videos, occasionally working as a stripper and an escort.
Fair enough.
In 2005, he was convicted of 1 count of impersonation and 3 counts of I can't even speak today, lads. Fraud.
We got there eventually. Flower load.
Where he apparently attempted to spend over £10,000 on a lady's on a card. And he apparently was in a lot of debt and even declared bankruptcy at one point.
Okay. Man's done well for himself.
Debatable.
Sarcasm.
He created many profiles on various internet social media sites and discussion forums over several years to plant a variety of claims about himself. So basically, another thing that he was shown to do is he would get loads of pictures, and I'm talking not just a couple.
Yep.
I'm talking hundreds of thousands from people all over the world, and he would Photoshop them and make it so his head was on their body, and then he tried to be like, oh, I've gotten here, and oh, I went to this place for this event, and he was not.
Yeah.
He was not there.
He was not there.
He was not at any of them.
Nope.
And it was just insane. He'd make fan pages about himself, like, we love Luca Magnotta. And then he would post on the fan websites and the fan boards, himself posting. No one else was posting on these things. He'd post up pictures of himself or comments and be like, oh, he's so hot. Oh, he's so sexy. He's so talented. What? On one of the boards, he tried to be, on one of them, he commented, oh, didn't he date Madonna at one point? Oh. It was ridiculous shit like
Do you know
this.
what? Oh, this is narcissism on a whole new level.
Exactly. Like when I said that I was not playing.
You were not playing.
Insane.
That's incredible.
And I'm talking hundreds of foreign posts, hundreds of pages dedicated to himself, thousands and thousands of pictures photoshopped, thousands and thousands of comments about himself.
I've got to give the guy some kudos because that is some self-worth right there.
It is. Oh, fucking hell, like, how long must he have been doing this? Good lord. These must have taken him hours and hours and hours. Like, good lord. On one event, arranged in 2007,
that's incredible,
claiming Magnotta was in a relationship with Carla Homolka, who is a high-profile Canadian convicted murderer. Magnotta denied in an interview with the Toronto Sun that's the fact, even though he had changed his appearance to look like her husband. And he had set up this interview himself.
Hang on. Glass is coming off for this. Excuse me?
Yeah.
So he
was like, right, how can I get some fame and attention? So I'm gonna he was like, so I'm gonna, how can I get attention on me today? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
pretend to be somebody famous.
Pretend to date or, be accused of dating this murderer in Canada. He couldn't have gone any other celebrity. He went with a murderer. How iconic. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make myself actually look like her husband, then contact the newspapers myself to be like, oh, this is happening. I'm being compared to her husband. Oh no. I then arrange an interview myself to the Sun and then have an interview talking about it. The fact that I'm being compared to...
It's a non-existent scenario.
What? And the thing is, the interviewer even says at one point, he's like, when he first walked through the doors, I thought it was her husband. And it was just... And the thing is, he's all like, oh, I'm being harassed. Oh, they're bullying me online. Like, they're threatening to hurt me. I'm not her partner, and it's just very pathetic.
That's
It's wow, a whole nother level.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that.
No, I don't know. So our unfortunate victim in this case is a man called Lynn. He was a Asian resident of Canada who had travelled there. I think it was at first to study.
Okay.
His parents were still back in his home country.
Okay.
He was openly homosexual, though he came to Canada because one of the reasons was because Canada's more accepting of, you know, the LGBT kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so in Canada he was openly queer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had a lot of friends there. He was really lovely, very soft-spoken, apparently.
Why is it always the good beans?
Yeah, I know, honestly, yeah. I think it's naivety, generosity. It's like Ted Bundy, the way he would lure his victims in. He would take a cane with him, walking stick.
Yep.
And he'd normally pick up victims in supermarket parking lots. And he'd be trying to get groceries in his car, and then he would either fall or trip and, you know, struggle with the bags, and then a helpful and genuinely kind person would come up and be like, oh my god, do you need help? I'll help you. And then he would whack him and get him in the car. So
deceased.
Yeah. Unfortunately, being nice all the time can get you in bad situations.
Ain't that the truth?
So Lynn was last seen on May 24th, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And his friends reported getting a text message from his phone at 9 p.m. But that was the last known contact ever from him.
Ever?
Shit. His boss became suspicious when he didn't show up for a shift the next day, as it was quite unusual. 3 of his friends then went into his apartment on May 27th, so 3 days later. He was reported missing to the police 2 days later on May 29th. So.
Wow. So we've got already 25 days? You said May 4th?
For what?
Was the last point of contact?
May 24th.
May 24th, okay. Yeah. So it took 5 days.
Yeah. But yeah, his friends and, you know, workplace were pretty on the ball with it. So, at some points of this I will also have to backtrack, but we're going into, like, the big bad murder at the minute.
Straight in there.
So, May 25th. 2012.
Mm-hmm.
An 11-minute video titled One Lunatic, One Icepick was uploaded to a website called bestgore.com. Weirdly... No, actually, you can access this in the public server. You can type this into Google, it still exists. The website, you can find the video, it's still up online. You can find other videos of real murders online just typing it in.
What?
Yeah, I don't know why those websites are allowed to go up. On these websites that are in the public domain and literally can be searched just by Google, you can also find clips of suicides. You can find people getting their limbs removed in various ways. You can see other murders. You can see accidents that cause death. You can see animal abuse of various types. It's very bad. You can witness all of that just on public domain. You can find all of that.
Public scares me sometimes.
Yeah, again, I don't know why those sites are allowed to run. You know, understandable in the dark web. But the fact you can access all this shit from Google.
Yeah.
Actually horrific.
That is. And the fact that it's still up as well is, you know, a little alarming. You would have thought that after it was linked to an actual death, you know, like an actual loss of human life,
but the thing
you'd think they would take it down.
Yeah, but the thing is, because of all the shit that gets uploaded to these kind of sites on the public domain, the people that watch them, they're like used to seeing that kind of thing. So it's not going to shock them. And sometimes it'll be a case of, so I want to pause a little bit here.
Okay, we're pausing.
When I was in secondary school,
okay.
Around, I don't know, 13 or 14, we had this phase in school where these shocking videos would go around and everyone would be watching them. So it started off with one that everyone has heard of or seen, 3 Girls, 1 Cup. Or is it 2 Girls, 1 Cup? My bad. Have you ever seen that?
No, I went to...
Oh, I was in a bad school.
You're talking to the girl who attended a private religious school.
Oh yeah, no, you won't have seen this shit.
And not only was it a private religious school, okay, but I was very much not in the in circle.
Oh, neither was I, but everyone was watching this shit.
No.
So basically, 2 Girls, 1 Cup is one of these shock videos. Basically, loads of them came out all at once for some reason, and they all just flooded the internet. And they just kind of came out of nowhere, and everyone became obsessed with them and sharing them and reacting to them.
Okay.
So 2 Girls, 1 Cup was the beginner one that came out that I remember, and it was basically 2 girls. You know, I can't remember if they're naked or something, but basically, one poops in a cup. It's a weird start, I know. And then the other one eats it from the cup, and then she throws up because she's eating the poop. And then she throws up in the cup, and then the other one drinks.
Why is it? Okay, I can listen to 44 days of torture and be fine. But you're talking about 2 Girls, 1 Cup and I'm gagging already.
Bitch, you didn't even see it. I was eating a chocolate mousse while I was eating this. The other girl then drinks the vomit out of the cup, then vomits it back up, and it never ends. It just keeps going.
Alright, moving on.
Then there was things like, then there was sometimes pictures that went round. There was one called Tub Girl, where it was this Asian girl laid like stomach first in a bathtub, and she's got a butt in the air, and she's got like diarrhea, and it's shooting up, and it like hits her on like her face. Yeah. And then you got, I want to say, yeah, One Guy, One Jar. Basically, a guy sticks a jar up his ass, it breaks, he then removes the glass shards by his hand. And then you had...
What the fuck were you watching in
don't ask, it was a public school in Grimsby, God
almighty!
And then it was like I think it was the 2 Guys, 1 Hammer, which is also a real murder. Granted, we didn't know that at the time. We found out in later years, though, we actually witnessed this murder. And we were like, oh.
That was a murder!
Shit. That was a real person getting actually murdered. I believe that was, I want to say somewhere near Russia. But the guys were caught, obviously, because they uploaded it online. And I believe they are in jail. And then one of the last few to circulate when this trend was going around was 1 lunatic, 1 Icepick. So but prior to watching this Netflix show, I had already seen the video of the murder.
Wow. And you had that stunning realization that you'd actually witnessed this man's murder and you didn't even realize it.
Yeah, because the thing is, we were, you know, very young teenagers, you know, still kids. We didn't think it was actually like real murder. Yeah, we just thought it was really like graphic horror movie stuff. But it wasn't. Because when I first started watching the Netflix program, I was like, you know, why does this sound familiar? Like, I feel like I've seen something familiar to this once. And then they said the name of what it was called, and I was like, holy shit, I've seen this. Oh fuck no, I remember everything that happened. Holy shit. It was traumatic. It's horrifying.
Yeah, I'd say traumatic is probably a good descriptor.
It was horrifying. So basically, it was uploaded to the Score website, and it showed a naked male tied to a bed frame, being repeatedly stabbed with an ice pick, and a kitchen knife. There's also a dog, and I remember the worst clip because it goes on for ages. The worst part of that, even to this day for me, is at one point, he either removes like a limb or something. I think it's while he's like hacking the body. He's either removed a limb or something like that. I'm sure he has, and like like the end of the limb, like where he's sawn it off, like is there, and the dog eats it. He starts to eat it and shit, and it was the most sickening thing I've ever seen. Like, don't get me wrong, obviously the murder of Lynn was bad, but
there's something about
Lynn was, I'm pretty sure he was unconscious when he was killed. There wasn't really any movement from him, but the fact that he was the thing is, this guy did not care about animals at all. He had literally bought the dog on Craigslist a couple days before he killed Jim. And
wow.
Yeah, seeing the dog do that, it was pretty rough. Like, you really felt for Jin and the dog. Yeah, it was bad.
Shit.
So he is then also dismembered on camera. And then there was also acts of necrophilia on camera. The perpetrator, Magnotta, uses a knife and fork to cut off some of the flesh and gets a dog to chew on the body. That was it.
Shit's nasty.
During the video, the 1987 New Order song True Faith plays in the background, and a poster for the 1942 film Casablanca is seen on the wall. Canadian authorities obtained a more extensive version of the video and says cannibalism may have been performed. Materials promoting the video appeared online 10 days before the murder even took place. Yeah, it's bad to watch. The thing is, what I remember from seeing the video, because I watched it once more after the documentary.
Okay.
And the thing is, I had obviously a whole different reaction.
Once you knew the person.
Yeah, and because the thing is, after we saw this video as kids, the video was all we saw. We didn't hear about any of this in the news.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. So we thought it was fake. And the thing is, it's like, when I rewatched it, parts of it do look fake. Like, when he's, like, cutting the body and, like, even getting at it with a knife and fork.
Mm-hmm.
The way...
There's part of you that just, like...
No, like, the way the body looks as it's being, like, cut, it doesn't look like...
Okay.
Like a person's body.
Yeah.
It looks so fake. But then you realise, holy shit, this is actually...
This is an actual
real
human being.
Christ. Yeah, and it's just... Yeah, I couldn't finish it after I watched it on the Netflix one.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I think I got up to the dog scene and I knew what was coming and I turned it off. But yeah, it's gruesome. On May 26, 2012, an attorney from Montana attempted to report the video to Toronto police, his local sheriff and the FBI, but the report was dismissed.
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah.
If I made a report every time I saw a video like that, I'd never see my family again. I'd be so busy. Fucking idiots.
Yeah, I mean, and then it's also the viewers that saw it on the Gore website actually were then like, oh, yeah, no, this is pretty bad. This is really bad.
You might want to do something about this,
We're
guys.
going to report it as well. They reported it.
Still nothing?
Pretty much no.
Yeah, I thought so.
Eventually, the police in Canada then realised, oh shit, this is an authentic video. Someone is dying there. And they were able to identify the victim.
Oh, excellent. We've gotten somewhere, finally.
So, on 11 a.m. on May 29th, 2012, a package containing a left foot was delivered to the national headquarters of the Conservative Party in Canada. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I quite like that.
The package was stained with blood, had a foul smell, and was marked with a red heart symbol. How nice.
Adorable.
Another package containing a left hand was intercepted by Canadian Post Processing Facility addressed to the Liberals. Yeah, he was really like the guy was just attention seeking based. He was obsessed.
That's a whole new levels.
He didn't care about politics.
You don't see terrorists doing that, and they normally have a reason for doing things. That's
This guy did not care about politics. He just wanted the attention.
Well, I mean, he managed it,
and
didn't
you
he?
know what? Yeah, fair. So a janitor discovered a decomposing torso inside of a suitcase left in the garbage pile in an alley behind the apartment building Luca lived in. After eventually searching the scene, police recovered human remains, bloody clothes, papers identifying the suspect. For some reason, Luca had thrown out IDs and stuff with his name and picture on. So for a time, they thought maybe that the victim was Luca. And they were like, oh wait, but this guy's Asian. The guy in the photo isn't Asian. Oh, we have the murderer's information. Luca, you're a fucking moron. Honestly.
I think the police are a fucking moron for not realising that the body is Asian.
There was a video, my God. You saw him. No.
I can't. I'm done. I can't even.
They also found sharp and blunt objects behind the alley. Footage from surveillance cameras inside the building, the apartment building, showed a suspect bringing numerous garbage bags outside in the middle of the night and in the middle of the early morning. And the images matched the suspect who was captured on video at the post office delivering the fabulous parcels.
That beautiful piece of Christmas gifting.
There was also video footage of Luca and Lynn coming into the apartment block. And then there was a video footage of Luca coming back out
without
no
Lynn. Gin?
Lynn, sorry.
Gin?
But he was wearing Lynn's top when it came out. Lynn was never seen exiting, is all I'm saying. And then it was around that time he started coming out with the garbage bags.
So he dressed himself in the clothing of the man that he'd just...
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's
different.
That's psychopathy at a whole new level.
Yeah. The apartment had been mostly emptied before he left. So this is when the police were investigating the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Took about a while to get a warrant for some reason, even though they had all this evidence. Don't know why. It was good. So the apartment had been mostly emptied before he'd left. Blood was found on different items, including the mattress. There was a massive pool blood stain on the mattress when they flipped it over. Huge.
Probably from his draining dead body.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. They found blood on the refrigerator, the table, and in the bathtub. The bathtub is also where he did most of his decomposition and decapitation. Inside of a closet, they found written in blood a message from Luca, just to be more extra. He wrote, "If you do not like the reflection, don't look in the mirror. I don't care." Wow, we have an edgelord here. Wow, sounds like a fucking 15-year-old kid going through his emo phase.
Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of my first attempt at writing fanfiction.
And literally, good God, Luca, grow up.
I read some of my previous work probably like at the beginning of this year, and I tell you, I shit you not, it made me cringe. It was so poor. Listening to this is like having to read my first ever fanfiction. It makes me want to cry.
Yeah, it's just
the over dramatic.
Oh, dramatic is just
message in the closet. Not even somewhere like that they're likely to look. Like the closet is not a common place to write messages of great import.
And it wasn't like in the closet. It was on the closet door, so I didn't see it until they fully opened it. And it's just, good God.
Jesus Christ.
On May 30th, 2012, it was confirmed that the body parts belonged to the same individual, later identified as Jun Lin. The suspect in the case was quickly identified as Magnotta, who had then fled. So,
unsurprising.
Here we go for the chase. Magnotta, the chase. He did not make it easy. Magnotta booked a ticket for a flight from Montreal to Paris on May 25th using a passport with his own name. Boy was not even trying.
That boy was just chilling.
After his arrival in France, his cell phone signal was traced to a hotel in a place I'm not going to try and say.
Understandable given your history.
It begins with a B, that's all I got. But he had left by the time that the police actually arrived.
Of course he had.
Pornographic magazines and an air sickness bag was found in the hotel room. Nice to know.
Sexy.
Magnotta used a false passport this time with the name Kirk Trammell at the hotel. He then caught a bus to Germany on June 4th, 2012. He was finally apprehended by Berlin police at an internet cafe in a place I'm again not going to try and say, while reading news stories about himself.
About himself, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. You saw that one coming. I saw that one coming a mile away.
Literally. So luckily he was caught.
This boy dead ass not going to be reading about some other person when he's literally just committed his own crime.
He risked getting caught and then did get caught just to look at the news articles about himself in an internet cafe and got identified.
Man is confident, you know. Man's got confidence in his skills.
So stupid.
I mean,
guy.
He's
a moron.
He is a moron. Low key though, I'm amazed.
He would definitely be a drama student.
Audacity of this man.
Yeah.
Like when I tell you this man is like
overflowing
with the audacity.
So he had managed to lure Lynn there to his flat and meeting by posting an ad on Craigslist asking.
Why is it always Craigslist?
I know, honestly, no one uses it anymore.
Why does? Seriously, there's no point. Has anybody thought, Craigslist is sketchy, bruh?
At one point there was a Craigslist serial killer. We might cover that at some point, but
of course we're gonna cover that at some point. This is you.
But yeah, so he went on Craigslist, and I'm just saying this is where Luca went for everything. He used Craigslist all the time to get the dog that was featured in the video. Craigslist.
Of course.
Craigslist. So he put an advert out asking for homosexual sex. Although he claimed to be not gay, so don't try to think he's gay, Becky. He apparently is not
Craigslist is the original Grindr.
From back in the day, bitch. It was 2012, alright? There weren't no Grindr then. There was no Grindr. Where else was the man gonna go? Where was he gonna go? Was PornTube even out then? I don't know. Well, you know what was out? Craigslist, alright?
For homophobic sex.
Again,
like you're exchanging PlayStation controllers.
Yeah, people still do that on there though. If you go on Craigslist, which I don't know how is still active to this day, you can go on there and people are still trying to hook up on fucking Craigslist in 2021. What is that about?
I can't.
What the fuck?
I'm deceased.
Reconsider your life options, alright? If that's where you're at.
If you are on Craigslist, you need to be assessing some things in your life, guys.
You just need to go straight to jail, honestly. So don't think he's gay, because he might not be gay.
I'm not gay! I feel like I've heard this line before.
It's unknown if sex occurred before the murder, though sexual acts were said to occur after the murder.
Yay.
And also, when he was working as a stripper and an escort, he was a gay stripper and escort.
But he's not gay!
But he might not be gay, so don't put a label on it, okay? Clarify.
The audacity of you to label this man.
Yeah. Luca had also got an internet interest before the murder. So this is when we're talking about the animals now.
Mm-hmm.
After posting several videos online anonymously onto YouTube.
It's always YouTube.
Killing cats. Actually, kittens. This ranged, so I'm only going to say basis of what he did to these. I'm not going to graphically describe them.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
They're very hard to watch. The videos made me cry. And that was from the small snippets that I'd seen on the documentary.
Guarantee you I'm not watching this documentary now.
Oh, you know what? Fair enough. You know about the case.
I'm telling you, it's not happening.
That's okay. So this ranged from putting kittens into vacuum seal bags and then sucking all the air out from the inside with a hoover and until they suffocated. Taping them to a piece of wood and then holding them underwater in a bathtub until they drown. And the thing is, with that wood one as well, they're all taped to the wood and you can genuinely see the fear in their eyes as it's happening, and it's actually horrendous. He then also, in one video, feeds them alive to snakes. Yeah.
Okay, I can't judge about that one because I've fed live mice to my uncle's snake, but...
Snakes eat mice, they're supposed to eat mice. Kittens? There was also one point where he put the dead kittens in the freezer and started playing with them.
That's not alright.
No. So after he did these videos, which was before the murder of Lynn, he started having this like cat and mouse game with internet people who were trying to hunt him down to, you know, get justice for the animals. Yeah. Animal activist rights group were also involved trying to find him. You know, this is when they discovered all these photoshopped pictures, all these sites where he'd done all this shit himself about himself, and that helped with the investigation.
Okay.
They did also go to the police several times.
Of course they did.
When they found out who it was, especially, and
he did nothing though.
They did nothing.
Of course not.
And then obviously, and they were like to the police, you know, if he's happy killing animals, no empathy there, he's gonna do it to a person. And then look what happened. He did.
He did it to a person.
Yeah.
And obviously the police were all,
yeah, I can't believe it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So on April 12, 2013, Magnotta was indicted on charges of first-degree murder, offering indignities to a human body, distributing obscene materials, and using the postal service to distribute obscene materials. And
I'm glad they were petty enough to charge him.
How dare you use a post office of all places? And
how dare you use the postal service, the post body pass?
We're making that an extra one now. We're adding that onto your thing.
Yeah.
And
do it.
He was also done for criminal harassment.
Excellent.
He pled not guilty.
Come again?
Not guilty.
Come again?
Claiming insanity. He was not criminally insane or insane at all. He was just a very psychotic narcissist.
Sick,
like, it's just
twisted,
sick
unwell man.
Fucker. Magnotta told a psychiatrist who interviewed him about the night he killed Lynn that a person named Manny was the one instructing him to hurt the animals and to kill Lynn. It was actually determined, and this is both parts hilarious and ridiculous. It was determined, actually, that the name Manny was, and Magnotta, when he was in France, he used to say...
The nickname for Magnotta, wasn't it?
No. When he was in France, he also used the alias Trammell. They were actually inspired by Sharon Stone's fictional character, Catherine Trammell, in the movie Basic Instinct. The character's fiancé in the film was called Manny. He was also seen copying Catherine and what she does in the movie several times during interrogation. For example, asking for cigarettes, posing himself sitting in various ways like she does in the film. And he also copied the murder exactly as how it is done in the film. In the film, she ties them up, and Lynn is tied up in the exact same way. He straddles the body the same way Catherine does in the film.
He's not gay.
He's not gay. He uses an Icepick, which is the same thing Catherine uses in Basic Instinct. He goes to flee. She does the same thing. Becky, you know why he did this? Because it was his favourite film. He got a life sentence with the possibility of parole in 25 years.
just for everybody who's obviously not able to see that, I'm literally contorting my head trying to figure out how to figure this out.
So basically, he was just like, growing up as a kid, I really like Basic Instinct. I've seen Basic Instinct because I was just like, what the fuck? This can't be right. After watching the documentary, I watched Basic Instinct. Sharon Stone, beautiful, beautiful woman.
Every woman is.
She is something else. And you know what? Watching that film, holy shit, I saw all those similarities. Oh my god. And also, I have never been able to listen to the original True Faith song by New Order ever since watching that documentary, because the murder of Lynn is all I can think about. Because it plays in the background the entire time. Yeah. So, you know what? Yeah. I would recommend watching Basic Instinct. It's a very good movie.
Maybe don't watch this film beforehand, though.
But maybe don't murder someone based on your favourite film.
Look, okay, I got some weird... I don't even want to know what your favourite films are, because if you ever turn into a psychopath killing... That's fair. Horror film. Let's imagine that
That's a really hard one.
Let's imagine that you did like a horror film killing based after your favourite horror film. You'd be a psychopath.
The thing is, Basic Instinct is not a horror film. It's just a crime film.
I'm sorry, but The Mummy, it's literally like a bisexual awakening.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Brendan Fraser and Rachel, is it Rachel Weisz?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's great.
Imhotep.
Oh, yeah, he's got it down.
Oh, God. The amount of attractive...
Right, we are not here to thirst over the mama. Okay, right, no, stop. Right, finally, to end it off, I also want to say...
Yeah.
A few months ago, I looked into where he's at these days.
You do this frequently, don't you?
Yeah, just to see,
check up
if
on
they're still in jail and that kind of thing.
People.
He requested parole a few times. They've all been turned down. He is still in jail. He is now married to a man.
But he's not gay.
But he's not gay. He's not gay. Who he married in jail. He's apparently living his best jail life. Apparently. I'm
so happy for him.
Lynn cannot.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Live his best life.
Lynn's not living any life, let alone his best life.
He's not. And that's a shame. Again, also a very random attack, like the last one, like a lot of the cases.
Like a lot of the cases we looked
wrong
at.
Wrong place, wrong time.
We're not getting into that debate again.
We're not.
You want a wrong place, wrong time debate? Go check out the last episode.
I have an episode of Luca and an episode of Lynn. Episode, I'm such a moron. Picture! I have a picture of Magnotta and a picture of Lynn.
Alright, let's hit it.
They're not gruesome.
Oh, thank God, the last one was too gruesome.
Well, Magnotta is just an ugly bastard.
Alright, let's have a look.
No one wants to see it. This is Luca. Looks very gay, is all I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure I've watched my manager swipe right on him on Grindr.
I'd be very worried if he was on Grindr.
Because he's not gay.
And Lynn looks like the most adorable, like the last one.
Okay, come on, just do it. Oh!
Look at that face! Look at that! Oh, he's so cute! What? Come on, look at that look at that little face. You just squish his cheek. It's so cute.
He is adorable. He's a very handsome looking man.
He is. Like, oh damn, he deserves better, man. Like, oh, I'm so mad. It's just, again, like, look, you can see how innocent that person looks. And it's just a shame. I think he was early 20s.
He doesn't look much older than us, does he?
No. So.
And that's the thing that changes. Like, obviously, when you're younger, you look at these people and you're like, oh my God, they were in the early 20s. They were so old. They really were not.
Now, at this point, we're in our early 20s, and a lot of people
dying are our age.
Yeah. And it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Shit. Or someone might die a bit older than us or a bit younger than us, and we're like, Christ. That's tough.
It's a slippery slope we're on.
Yeah. But, you know what, I hope that's been, as sad of a case as it is, because, a lot more people seem to focus their attention on the insanity that is Luca Magnotta rather than Lynn. You know, it
I
is
just
about...
saw a nasty person in that. Like, I wasn't sitting there thinking, oh my god, he's insane, he's suffering from medical... I just saw a nasty
No, he's
person.
not even insane as in, like, medically. He's just ridiculous.
I have a challenge for you.
Yeah.
I want you to find a case for the next episode that's kind of funny.
I mean, this case, in a way...
No.
Is it has its moments. Alright, copying his favourite film, little bit funny.
No.
You want me to find
You've got dead cats and a manipulated Asian gay boy.
I did.
None of that screams entertainment to me. Okay? I want you to find a case that's so absurd I'm going to be laughing the entire way through it. That's your challenge.
Okay.
Don't come at me till you fulfilled it.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, the next case was going to be your boy Richard Ramirez, so...
Okay, well, we'll do Richard Ramirez as a warm-up episode.
And then you want the funny one to end the night.
And the funny one to end the night.
Okay.
Alright?
Alright, we will do.
We seem to be doing these in pairs anyway.
We do. So, this has been episode 5.
It's been a good one.
It's been a good one. A lot more light-hearted one.
Yeah,
well in a way. I'm so sorry, Lynn. You deserve better. It's more light-hearted than, the 44.
Okay, we're not even going to go there again.
But yeah, so this was the episode of Luca Magnotta and the Murder of Lynn.
Let's call it the Murder of Lynn.
Okay, sure.
We're not calling it the what's-a-majig name. It's the
murder.
No.
Okay, forbidden word. Okay.
His name is ceasing to exist. It's the Murder of Lynn.
The Murder of Lynn.
We're not glorifying the man who did it.
We're not.
The Murder of Lynn, people.
And yeah, this has been...
And on that bombshell.
True Crime. BB True Crime with Beth and Becky. I'm Beth, that's Becky.
I'm Becky, that's Beth.
And we'll see you in the next episode. Alright, bye lads.